It's adventure time again, and this time I'm taking the Talaria out dirt biking out by 5 Mile Pass, which I've been to before, and I will put a card here to the video when I did that before. Now what's new on this particular trip is that I am in the Model Y, but I'm not going to be towing the trailer with the Talaria on it here in the Model Y because I have a new bike rack. Here is the Talaria on the back of the Model Y, and I've mounted it here on the QuikrStuff Mach2 bike rack, which is the only bike rack that QuikrStuff sells so far. And I just barely picked this up today on our local classifieds, and it locks in right here in the 2-inch receiver hitch of our Model Y just fine. I did have to reverse the side of this red pin right here. It's a emergency or like safety pin, and it defaults to this side, but without any tools and within like 30 seconds I was able to just switch it over to this side. And I needed to do that because the trailer wiring plug is right here on this side and it conflicts with that. So I swapped that over, tightened this down, and I must say this trailer hitch is quite spectacular. I love it, and clearly it's working great for the Talaria to be here on the back of the Model Y. And not having to have the trailer, it makes me more nimble. I take up fewer parking spaces where I'm going. You know, it's just nicer and quicker. And the Talaria, I took the battery out of it to mitigate the weight so that this is, you know, a safer amount of weight here on the back of the trailer hitch. The Talaria with the battery is about 145 pounds. So taking that out, we're closer to 100 pounds. And the trailer hitch receiver can do 165 pounds of an accessory trailer hitch like this. So we're well within the weight limits of the Model Y's trailer hitch. So I'm gonna go head out to 5 Mile Pass and we'll try this out. I'm still in the Hinckley area, approaching 5 Mile Pass. I just wanted to point out over here that it shows that we are consuming 0.1 less than the projected range. So basically the same as what it projected, which is a little bit surprising considering the wind resistance that is for sure coming right here from the Talaria on the back. But apparently it's not that bad. It's up close enough to the back of the car or something, so it's really not causing too much drag at this point. Also, something else is right here, it constantly is showing what it thinks is another car behind us, which is the Talaria, and it kind of comes and goes, then occasionally there's a warning that pops up saying that the parking assist won't be able to function as well. So right now we're going to be getting there in about 7 minutes. We're getting there with 52%, and I forgot to look at what the projected range was here, but because here in the Model Y we now see this energy screen, it's showing us that it's we're actually now consuming 0.4% more than was projected. So it's really nice that they have that information available to us now, and they keep track of all that for us. And if we switch over here to the consumption graph, that's what the last 30 miles looks like. And here is the 5 Mile Pass. This is a big parking lot over on this side, but for today we're actually meeting over in this direction on the south side of the highway. So I'm going to drive up this gravel road a short distance and we'll be up in that parking lot at the top of the hill over there. The Mach 2 bike rack worked fantastically and no shifting or movement throughout the whole drive. So I'm going to get this unloaded now and go riding. I'm going to be tracking this with Strava as I usually do, and the Talaria is at 100%, so let's ride.
Heck yeah!
It's been a little while since I rode, at least with these guys. The last couple of times I rode I was with my kids, and there's definitely a different level of intensity, which is totally to be expected. And also, this is my first time riding in the winter. Today is the first day of the winter, technically. It is December 21st today, and it's the shortest day of the year. I've got the bike in sport mode, and I will probably be leaving it in sport mode the entire time I'm riding here today. Oh, you're drifting a lot of oil. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Way to ruin our fun, Joe. I didn't see any drips in the truck.
Discovered, unfortunately, that the starter on his bike, the flange on it that's bolted to the engine block broke for whatever reason, and that's where the oil's leaking from. So he's gonna push his bike back to the truck up that way, and we're gonna keep riding for a little longer. is definitely less crowded today than it was last time I was here, simply because it's the middle of the winter, or I guess beginning of the winter, and nobody is out here to ride, even though the weather's just fantastic. This is where there was some remnants of, oh, there's snow here, actually. So we are definitely in the winter riding conditions, just barely having some snow here. It's like 53 degrees here today. This is a great view up here. Aha, we're coming across some campers over here. So yeah, we're at 78% on the Talaria. And we've been going for 46 minutes, and we've gone almost 7 miles. All right, let's keep going. 45 miles an hour. Oh, there's some more camping here. Actually, quite a few options out here. The sun's right in my eyes. No problem. All right, this is a great view from up here. Over there is where we're parked. This is the highway we drove in on. And this is the area we've been riding around in. We're checking on our buddy, see how he's doing. I think he's reading a book. Hey! I'm gonna give him a head start. I don't like that smoke. It does remind me of cutting wood as a child, though, from a 2-stroke chainsaw. Doesn't mean I want to smell it for hours on end. We have now been going for 1 hour and 6 minutes. We've gone 12.71 miles, and we're at 57% on the battery of the Talaria. And we have been, or I've been on sport mode the whole time. I'm gonna keep having fun. How was the book?
Good. I tried looking up stuff about the bike, but I don't get enough service to...
I'm not surprised that the cell signal is weak out here. I'll probably explore a little bit more before I load up.
All right. Okay.
But thanks for the invite.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming.
Let's go this way. That was a very steep hill. Oh, yeah. Definitely went through some mud. This is a really cool view from up here. Huh. This is where the trail ends. I'm up here on this beautiful vista outlooking the main highway, and that's from the Model Y right there where I parked. and I just came up this gnarly trail. I've now been going for an hour and 20 minutes, 14.66 miles, and the battery is at 47%. After having some fun on my own, after the other guys left out over here on the other side of the highway, I'm now back to my car, and I'm going to get my Talaria loaded up and go home, and I'm going to be power washing it because it got pretty filthy. I must say, I love this bike rack. The trailer worked great, but this is more efficient and I like it more. As a stats update, I rode a total of 16 miles, and that took an hour and 44 minutes. Average moving speed of 9.2 miles per hour, and the Talaria is at 44% on the battery. This is the Strava website that just has a little bit more information. So we had an elevation change of 2,228 feet, and there are some other stats here you can look at if you'd like. Down here, this is the route that we rode, so I'm going to make this full screen, and then I'll change it over to the satellite view. And so this is the main highway that we came in on, and I parked here. And then this is the route that we rode all the way around there. And then this is the route that I did by myself. So I didn't explore a lot. I didn't want to get too far off the beaten path being by myself like that. And then down here, you can see the elevation throughout that ride and what that elevation looked like. So there's a lot of up and down, and there's a couple of peaks that we hit along the way, but overall, not a lot of elevation change in this area. If I switch over here to the analysis screen, it shows that same map up here, but it also has the speed down here on the graph. And so you can see that there were some times on this back road here where we were coming back that we were going quite fast for long periods of time, and then we came back around. But generally, we're not trying to be in a hurry. We're just on narrow trails that we're just having fun on. I've taken the battery out of the Talaria, and you can see on the Model Y it has a nice little compartment here on the side of the trunk area. So I've loaded that up into the car, and now I'm going to load the Talaria up onto the bike rack. This side support is too wide to serve as a ramp, but that's okay. The Talaria is pretty light, especially without the battery in it. Just like that. On the drive here, I noticed it was a little bit farther this way, so I'm going to bring it back. There we go. The cinch is down real tight, has zero slippage. The tires are both down in the groove. I really love how well this Quikr Stuff Mach2 rack fits here on the Model Y. You can see the opening here where they hide the trailer hitch on the Model Y is just barely big enough. It basically looks factory, like this is a Tesla accessory, and then it comes up immediately, so it really improves the ground clearance dramatically. And this car is not as bad with the ground clearance as our Model S, but this will be a welcome feature with the Model S. And everything about this rack just screams high quality. It works really well, and it's very sturdy. The only thing that's slightly concerning, but only slight, is that the foot peg is here, but it's got a good, 3 or 4 inches between the trunk and the bike. And if I rock it back and forth, it's not getting anywhere close to actually hitting the back of the Model Y. So that's great. I definitely picked up some mud on this trail, so I'm going to be taking this home and power washing it. The Talaria is loaded up on the bike rack, and I'm just driving out of this area, and the ground clearance on the Model Y is definitely coming in handy right here. I mean, it's not bad, but there are a few rocks sticking up. Nothing crazy. And now I'm gonna head on home. The Model Y is estimating that we will get home at 43% on the battery, and that's gonna be over 44 minutes. Right now we're at 50%. So we're gonna see how well it does with this extra wind resistance on the back, which didn't prove to be a problem coming here, and we'll see if it's the same going back. I'm now back home, and you can see that right here we consumed 0.1% more than the trip projected. So that is a surprisingly minimal amount, and so the drag on the back from the Talaria is almost nothing. What have you girls been up to?
We've been having a play date with Olivia and Brooklyn from Wild and Free.
Awesome. And just like that, I've cleaned up the Talaria. You can see it's all free of mud and all the rocks that were embedded in that mud. So now I'm going to put this away and clean the Model Y. I hope this has been helpful to see how well the Talaria has performed riding around on the trails, as well as the Model Y driving there and back, and also the Mach2 to transport the Talaria there and back. I'm going to be continuing to use this setup in the future, of course, and the Mach2 we're going to be also using it on the back of our travel trailer to take the Talaria on camping adventures in the future. With that, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.